All
When's the
talk
last
at the
time you
same
played
time.
Subway Surfers?
Each one of us talks at the same time about a different subject.
Are we live?
We're live.
We're live.
Welcome.
GM.
Wednesday, June 4th, almost 11:30 God's time. It's 11:20 God's time. You know what time that is, Leka?
Eastern time.
Yep. See, Marty knows.
God's time.
Eastern time.
It's the time the world runs on.
I don't know. I feel like Jesus lived on the other side of the world or some shit like that. I don't know.
He may have lived on that side of the world, but he's scheduled in Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes. That's why it's known as God's time. What's going on? What's happening?
Circle's IPOing.
I saw, dude, 25
Oversubscribed. Yeah.
X oversubscribed. Did I fuck up not doing that? I think I might have. Then again, I don't know.
Well, it's at 7 billion. That doesn't sound. I mean, that doesn't sound.
What's it valued at right now?
7 billion.
All right.
That doesn't sound that much. Shitcoins are fucking 100 billion.
No, dude. I mean, it's not that much for a Circle, but I mean, you don't see fucking shitcoins at 100 billion. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's
2021.
7 billion. What do you mean? ETH is at 300 billion. What do you mean?
I think when I saw the seed stuff floating around, it was at like 4 bill. And and I was like, you know what? Like it's not that I don't think it's going to be valued higher. It's more like I'm going to be locked up for how long to get what, like a 3 to 5x.
If it's, I mean, that's not bad.
I think it's a difference. Like, I'm putting $1 billion to work. You know, I'm putting a few $100 million to work versus, I'm going to put $1 million to work. Right? It's like
exactly.
These guys are playing a totally different game.
100%. But yeah, I mean, 25x over sub. That's
yeah.
The demand for stables is real. What else?
Well,
is
in
happening?
the US is always like these. They always like these third-party apps. The government doesn't like to come out with their own thing. Like, they'd rather partner with Zelle or with some, third-party provider. So if they do a stable, they'll probably just partner with Circle instead of doing their own fucking thing.
Yeah,
that's a sensible option.
Pump Fund, what are they raising at? 4 billion or something? And then they're raising $1 billion?
Yeah, something insane.
After extracting 700 million already in a year.
But everything needs a token.
Yeah. So you guys think it's going to be a top, like a local top, like permanent top?
I read something that was like, if you need Solana only to buy it versus stables, like, is it bearish or bullish for Solana? It was some interesting takes on the crypto Twitter sphere this past day.
It's gonna be a scam pump. There's gonna be a hated rally, and then it's gonna slowly bleed into nothing.
Up, then down. That's your prediction?
Yep, probably. I mean, it might nuke on launch. Who knows? I haven't looked at the vesting or anything like that.
You talking about?
I haven't seen how it works.
Yeah, Pump.fun.
Bro, look, 4 bill. I think it goes to 8.
It would definitely didn't go on my front home page this time. I had to go to Eden to find it. We broke it with
7 live right now.
Maybe it's
11.
Is it copyrighted?
They're enjoying
Yeah,
it
might be
copyrighted.
Yeah, it wouldn't even show on the front.
God
page.
damn it!
God damn it! We tried.
We tried.
Yeah, the thing about it is, like, I saw Andy say that he thinks the buyers are, institutions looking for a meme coin exposure, which I said, like, jokingly, like, great, thesis, but I doubt it. But in actuality, like, that is kind of the thesis, right? Because no institution wants to hold fucking PP poo poo coin. And not only that, but I don't think they could get approval to allocate funds to PP poo poo coin in time to like catch any of the volatility, any of the upside, like to make it worthwhile. But if you own a piece of the infrastructure, then you're able to take profit on all the degeneracy taking place on chain. The thing is that when you look at like the pump fund revenue chart, like yes, they're making money, but it's plateaued. Like the interest in creating new tokens, the allure of like trading meme coins in the same volume that it was at the time that pump fund was first introduced is not here anymore. It's just part of the cycle, like
I mean,
we've been
it peaked in like December, and before that, it peaked like before the summer.
How many new coins are created a fucking day now versus
like
let's
there's
say
still like
20,000 or
20K,
something.
Jesus
there's a shit ton. But the thing is, like, if every trench warrior is purchasing pre-sale, who is buying on the market, right? It's the same situation with like
Yeah.
Loud, right? Like
Uncapped
you have
pre-sales.
Laudio, everyone's
Really
excited
suck.
for it, everyone's doing their proof of work to get their allocations. And then after everyone has what they want or has a piece of it, like who is buying more on the open market? What is the narrative of speculation? And I don't know. I mean, I think we're past the point of people really wanting massive exposure to druvels and druvels of straight garbage.
Yeah. I think every big launch, like every big event on Solana, like Trump, Melania, the Argentina bullshit, every one of those was like a local top. And, this is going to be a local top too. Just every time something big happens on Solana.
All right, I really can't.
Can we just bump it first a little bit?
But do you think that people knew this and it's kind of been a drag on Solana? That's why Solana's been not underperforming, but been sluggish.
Because of like what's happening with memes, you're saying?
Yeah, or like what's happening with this extraction of fucking
I
pump
think
fund.
it's this Solana is just dealing with the same thing like 99% of other like layer one coins are doing. Like none of them are at all time high.
Yeah, I don't think that it has necessarily anything to do with like extraction of Solana. I think that's also like a funny narrative. Like, sure, like they're extracting Solana, but like every app on every network is extracting the base token from that network. So like that's just a silly, I think, argument by people who don't like pump. And I'm not like a huge fan. You know that I have my fair criticisms on everything that goes on that side of the waters. but the bigger thing I think is just like attention, that people aren't like, attention isn't on AI chatbot slop tokens and like launching random fucking memes anymore. Fatigue has set in from that, just like any other new shiny bell and whistle, like little low liquidity sector that pops up. It's the same thing with NFTs, same thing with gaming, as like you name it. Anytime there's been and it's happened with memes before. It's just part of the life cycle. So I don't think it's specific to Solana. It's just all that activity was kind of localized to there, and now you're seeing that attention shift. So when the attention shifts, liquidity kind of shifts with it. And whether that's just now sidelined liquidity or that working somewhere else, I think a lot of even the slow people are starting to reallocate some of their bags. You see this narrative now that it's like, oh, the 2025 BTC ETH or BTC Sol is now ETH and hype.
Yep.
A lot of Sol people, so I'm assuming that those of them that don't want ETH exposure are just topping up on their hype exposure. saw this fucking funny thing happening. What was going on with all the Trump stuff? So they announced that he was launching
A wallet,
infrastructure, like all this shit, and
and then 2
yeah,
minutes later,
it
we're
had
not.
nothing to do with it. So is it just like his kids are just fucking like they have the worst comms in the world with their dad, or what?
No,
the
I
fuck?
think that he sells his name to, like, there was the Polygon NFTs, the Matic NFTs, there's the shoes, the watch. He sells like his name rights to
Yep.
people. And then part of the deal is he has to tweet about it or whatever. But this just seemed like another level.
He just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he was like, fuck that. Or maybe, it's not in the contract. Like, we already did NFT. Like, NFTs are harmless, watches are harmless, shoes are harmless, but like, a whole security wallet of, trusting client assets on a Trump wallet. Like, dude, that would be a hacker's fucking wet dream, dude.
Yeah. Let me pull this shit up real quick. What are we looking like? There we go. Oi.
Are we going up or down? It looked like it was over this morning, and then we're so back as soon as US opened.
That's what I was just pulling up to look at. Fucking. That's when I woke up. It was like not looking too hot.
Ethereum has a dream.
But it is still the same price as like May 13th, 2021.
It's trying not to shit its pants. It's trying really hard.
No, it's still the same price as April 2021, but it's really, really trying. I mean,
yeah, it's hanging. Look, it's been like
it's a try.
It's been a month. It's been a month at this price.
In this, yeah.
It's
Check
trying.
price, same price.
Yeah.
But as always, my newsletter is the bottom. I even said that this is probably the bottom, and Weka even called it a generational bottom. It was like those reviews. It's the best movie in the world. So Weka is my editor in chief, and he called it a generational bottom.
By the way, have you guys noticed like where you offer like deals at like heavy discounts, OTC deals on like fucking a lot of different tokens like Sui, Cutter chains? Like I'm seeing that around.
Is there some exit coming?
Probably something not bullish. This is for that to be happening.
For what?
Like a lot of different fucking coins. Let me just pull up. Like virtuals, Sui, Polkadot, Grass, Beam, Vera.
No. Why? You've been getting a lot of DMs?
No, it's like actual groups that I know it's a real deal. I just didn't want to take it. It's just suspicious that it's happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is it though? If it's like a single entity or a group of entities that are...
I just saw it mentioned by other people that I know they didn't get the deal from the same place.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be holding any of that.
Yeah, it's like vesting for like a few more months or something.
When GCR's prophecy is...
Where is that fucking bird?
He told you all ETH was going to go to 10K. It dropped 75%, and now it's going to go to 10K. And he's going to say, I told you that I have a longer time horizon than you. And
What if GCR is my buddy, dude? Who
He'll go
fucking
in.
is one of those ETH we talked about it on the show last week or 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. Maybe my buddy's GCR, dude. Probably not, but
the only person more bullish ETH than me. Your buddy.
seriously. No, I get it because he's in the trenches of. He works for a security company, a crypto security company. So he's seeing what actual teams are building, like boots on the ground every single day. So I see the vision. I'll see him tonight. I'm sure he'll have a new prophecy, and I'll bring it on Friday.
Whoa. Giga Alpha.
That's pretty funny. I was looking at your screenshots. You broke it.
Yeah, we broke it. One viewer. Okay, now we're picking. As soon as we stopped, did we? Yeah, we stopped. As soon as we stopped the live stream, it
started.
The AI is too good, dude. The AI is too
What's funny is that when I first started that, we had more active like live viewers than we had ever had like right at the beginning. So it was maybe it attracted a bunch of bots and they were like, oh fuck, look. No, it's just all the Zoomers. They saw the fucking Subway Surfers and were attracted to it like moths on a lamp. Please. All right, so are you in the Professor Satoshi camp? You think that what is he? Is he thinking 3K ETH before end of June? And then
I think he said 3K and 120. I think that's what he said, right? Yeah. We can go around the horn, Weka. What do you think? 120 and 3K.
Then
I want to see. Honestly, I would want to see 120 of like 4K to make me a bit more hopeful.
Nah,
anyhow,
we can take that. I'll take the under 4K.
No, honestly, if I were to trade completely based on vibes, I'd be buying ETH again, bro.
you're ready to be.
The chart looks good.
You're ready to be hurt.
Yeah, some things you can't cure.
It's not the first time with this coin.
You know, some would say this is lining up for a perfect Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
No, it's
yeah.
It's consolidating before the next leg up. All right. Believe
that would be like a Marge Simpson. It's so tall.
The Marge.
If you go back to 1800, that's a Marge.
Bro, I remember when like the structure of the charts for BTC and ETH looked like that, just reversed back and forth. So, like, I swear, I felt like it was months.
I'm reading Two Prime's little highlights. Two Prime is I think they just went only Bitcoin. Actually, I know that they went only Bitcoin services. They gave up on ETH right at the bottom, of course. But so now they do Bitcoin derivative strategies, treasury management, OTC, directional trading, ARB trading, whatever kind of Bitcoin strategy you could think of. They do it. And they said a wave of new Bitcoin holding companies launched this month across the globe. While this added demand, it also added systemic risk tied to microcap balance sheets and derivative fueled treasury strategies that may trigger forced selling in future downturns. Everybody's fucking buying upside, but I think the only person that can't be liquidated is Sailor. Some of these other guys would be put on the chopping block if we did have a true proper nuke. Maybe I'll write about it in the next newsletter 2 weeks from now.
Someone actually wrote about that. I was reading. Let me see what it was. They were talking about. It was in CoinDesk. It was a CoinDesk article. It was like 61 corporate treasuries now hold a combined 3.2% of the total Bitcoin supply. And it was bringing up the point that you made that like these top holders could become like the top like 4 sellers because if Bitcoin, starts to fall and goes below a certain point, they're going to need to cover.
Yeah, they're
whatever
putting on a
mandate they
fucking
had.
basis trade. They're putting on a fucking basis trade, and if it goes down and if they have to unwind, they get screwed. We'll see. I guess time will tell, right? We can sit here and speculate all day.
I gotta look into. They fucking gated the article. I gotta see who these companies are. I don't want to fucking look right now. I need a Jamie agent to where I can just be like, Jamie, look that shit up. They'll be like, yeah, no problem, Cozy, and just right away, my little agent is.
If AI actually worked,
One of my
then
5 listeners, don't take that idea. It's my next idea. I'm gonna launch that.
I like their I think that my article was a little more in my writing style, but I like how they wrapped it up. In short, the market is maturing, the players are smarter, the instruments are more sophisticated. The game remains the same. Those who manage risk well will survive and compound. Those chasing upside without protection may find out what Buffett meant about the tide. They are looking at selling short front end and long different call structures out into the end of summer. So they're short front end, and then they're probably short some put spreads, and then long some call spreads, or short front end puts or calls, short front end calls, and long. I don't know. Obviously, September call spreads. It's interesting view.
Who is?
Two Prime. Also, it's a market maker that's fucking selling a product, writing about a product offering in a newsletter, right? So there's also that. Yeah, there's also that while we're looking at that.
These options, though.
So they do Bitcoin yield, altcoin exposure, treasury management, dollar yield with upside, and lending services on Bitcoin and stables. Or sorry, Bitcoin for stables. So pretty sleek product offering.
Interesting. You see, Tether is. I figured you might know about this, being you're so in tune with what's going on in Latin America. But Tether just invested OrionX, which is a Chilean-based exchange. They're trying to drive Latin America adoption. So I didn't know if you did any volume over there.
No. All of these, the biggest one is Mercado Bitcoin. And besides that, then you just have like local exchanges, like Chilean exchanges, Argentinian exchanges, and they specialize in on and off ramping like local currencies. The big ones like OKX and Bybit and Coinbase are all coming and trying to get live. Binance too are all coming, but still feels like the market is like peer to peer here for retail. They're just doing more peer to peer transactions than trading. It's more about moving money around than trading. But sports betting is another fucking thing, dude. Welfare. We have Brazilian welfare. It's called Bolsa Familia. It's something insane. It's like 20% of all Brazilian welfare gets sent to betting websites with picks because they can just track it all. Dude, it's insane. It's a lot of fucking money. It's like billions of hash, like, probably $1 billion USD. Can pull it up.
Why do they allow? Well, I guess because it's just all one system, right? Like
3 billion hash. So
if you're on welfare they're just allotting you like X amount of local currency for you to use.
Dude, it's like 600 hash a month. It's like $100 a month USD. It's not that much that they give. And 20% of it is going to fucking sports betting websites. So what they're trying to do now is limiting like the picks addresses that you can send money to. Because like in the States, they have like X amount for cold food, X amount for hot food, and X amount for cash, right? Hot food and cold food being like, I don't know, cereal versus, the warm food buffet. So they're trying to figure out a way to limit people's movement of the welfare. But once it's in your bank account, it's not like there's anything that you can limit, if that makes sense. It's not like this is cold food and hot food. No, it's just in your bank account.
In the States, they give you a debit card, and that debit card only works for certain items.
Yeah. And here it's just sent into your bank account. And then it's free to send anywhere. But it's only $100 a month. It's not like it's thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah, well, they could just give you all Brazilian points on a Brazil liquid card that you can't use on gambling sites or
Brazilian points
liquor.
that turn into an airdrop.
Well, what they
years.
should do is so the Pix key is a CNPJ, and a CNPJ. That's like a business license. So the business license number is the Pix. So they're trying to maybe limit that. Like you can't send the money to this Pix because it's linked to a registered betting site. And now all of the betting sites have licenses. I think it was like $6 million USD for a betting license, and of course they sold out instantly, right? But that's what they're trying to do, is maybe limit the business accounts that you can send to, but fucking people will just send it to your friend, and then the friend will send it. Like if you want to fucking gamble, they're gonna do it. But what's funny is no other gambling in Brazil is legal besides poker. So only card games, poker games, and sports betting. But there's no like roulette or any of that shit. Blackjack, it's all illegal. So just poker and sports betting. And I think sports betting is probably fucking worse. Are we going up or down?
Shit, I was muted.
Slightly up.
It depends. Is it now a bull market for ETH and not for Bitcoin?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I was muted. I was commenting on what Marty had said, what he's talking about with all the fucking licensing and shit. How many did they issue? You said they sold out really quickly. Like, how did they organize this to get submissions in to apply for licenses? And
the government's pretty quick on regulations, maybe even too quick. Like, I don't know, an example, they were like, oh, we're going to raise taxes on money remittances, sending money around. And then that was on a Friday night or some bullshit, Thursday night or something. And then literally 2 hours later, they're like, oh, we're not doing that anymore because the market went fucking crazy. So they're a little too happy-go-lucky, a little too quick on these rules and regulations. But I don't know how many sports betting licenses they did, but they sold out instantly, and for $6 million. The license carries a cost of 30 million reais, $6 million for a 5-year. It's valid for 5 years. Yeah, but how many? And what's crazy is these sports betting, they issued 14 licenses. So to stake, PixBet, all of the ones that sponsor fucking professional sports teams, they gave licenses to.
crazy. But how many? I want to know how much money they made off this. That's why. Like, I feel like if they sold out, like, why wouldn't they just be like, okay, shit, that worked out really well. let's do round 2.
They will. They did 14 licenses, so a lot. It's not that much. 14 times 6 is what? 84 million USD. It's not that much. But the thing is that there was new ones popping up with no license, like every day. So it's unregulated, all this shit. So now, like, all their access to banking and all that. So they issued 14. The taxes is like 50%. So they're more banking on the tax revenue than issuing the license revenue. They did this with crypto exchanges too. So like Coinbase came and got a license. Binance is trying to get a license. Bybit is trying to get a license. There's always a path here in Brazil for a way, but it's more who you know and how much money you're willing to spend. It's not just because you have the money you can get the license, right? It's also relationship based still, or bribery based. I don't want to say bribery, but it's incentivized based. Okay. Unlike the U.S., you couldn't just try to bribe fucking Gary. He would have a fucking hissy fit.
Well, he's gone now.
Yeah, sad.
No more. Do you see? Let me pull this up. There was a pretty interesting thing that just did a raise. Boom. 3Jane. Credit based.
3Jane? No.
Do you see this?
No. What the fuck is this?
Well, USD3 is a
I
yield
see it.
coin backed by a pool of credit lines to crypto users and AI agents.
Oh god. Oh god.
For yield.
Here we go.
Are underwritten against verifiable proofs of credit scores, on-chain, centralized exchange, bank assets, and cash flows. Staked USD3 has levered exposure to the pool. 0% collateral cash advances. Unlock your creditworthiness. Instantly borrow USDC against your creditworthiness to farm, trade, or for other liquidity needs. So what they do is they connect, I want to say, like it's KYC, right? Like you connect your, as it says up there, your in real life credit score, credit accounts, bank accounts, on-chain wallets, if you'd like to, centralized exchange accounts. And from there, they derive like an on-chain, essentially like creditworthiness or risk score for you, and will allow you to borrow up to X amount of cash for a certain rate.
What are the rates?
I don't know. We'll see right here. Like, look, here's like, I don't know. You see 135,
15%.
15%.
Interesting.
Like, the type of profile someone has here that's giving them.
What is it called?
3jane.xyz. They just raised like 5 point something mil from
Jesus.
Led by Paradigm.
Of course. US only. Wow, that's a first. US only. 26 of 75 spots left. US only. Interesting.
How'd that
Oh,
happen?
you have to link Credit Karma because Credit Karma is only US.
Oh, you need a
You have
US
to
credit score to participate.
Yeah, TransUnion and Equifax, Vantage Store, 3.0 scores, on-chain, bank account, and Coinbase. Well, Coinbase is coming soon, but bank and Credit Karma, and then it derives your.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting.
See, started off as you're like, oh god, here we go, but it's actually pretty cool. This is something I feel like has been, it will be a new piece of DeFi. So whether or not, you like the, blending of KYC type, experiences with DeFi or not, like, that's your own prerogative, but people want this type of shit. People want to
Dude, I have a Dust account with $159 in it. I just linked my $159 account, and I have a credit line of $7. Wow.
Oh, you signed up already?
Incredible.
I don't know. You can just click around. I just linked some burner wallet so I don't get fucked if it's some scam. 7 USDC at 11.27%.
Yeah, let's see.
Better than
I can
the APR and credit cards.
I can borrow 7. And then if you link your Credit Karma, you get 1 to 4.5x boost, and if you link your bank, is 1 to 4.5x boost. Interesting.
Beautiful.
Interesting. Well, if you have $150, you now can get a $7 credit line. Follow me for more tips. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, we do need this. We're not going to. Oh, you need 20K on-chain balance to open a line of credit. All right. That's what it is. Yeah, but doesn't this also just start like FedChain, and you're linking fucking a wallet to a bank account to a Credit Karma, which is to you?
You have to remember that not everyone, cares that the government knows their on-chain wealth and like how much money they have, right? For them, they more care that other people aren't able to see that type of thing. So if you're paying taxes in the US, I'm pretty sure maybe they removed it for this past year for 2024, but the year previous there were like fields for you to input the address, like your account or address. So like
Really?
yeah, you're already giving them, and if you're sending from a hot wallet to your exchange and then you're filing your taxes that way, you're already giving them that information. So like I don't know what people
Oh, for sure.
They already have that if you're paying your taxes and doing what you're supposed to be doing. So like the linking of that I don't think really matters.
No, you just start creating a database.
Yeah.
Of course, linking it's not a problem, or it's going to be KYC DeFi, especially if you want unsecured loans. But
because the thing is that this information remains private unless you default on your loan and you don't pay back.
And then who gets the? I've got to read the docs.
Then they'll pull. They pull your customer info and they have your legal information to go after you.
The loan collectors go after you.
Yeah, they probably just have a partnership with a fucking loan shark claims, like those fucking sleazy small claims guys, and then they just fucking sell your claim to them. Yeah, sure, go ahead. Like distressed assets, like they probably just sell it for 50 cents on the dollar and like tell them to go after it.
Then they tow your car.
And then you're repoed.
No, this is pretty cool. I mean, look, backing here, there's already a pretty significant amount of TVL, 55.5 mil. Average G score across 3G credit book, weighted by outstanding credit lines, 425,000.
No, we need unsecured lending. Okay, that's what we need.
That sounds very insecure.
Well, the problem with it is the knowing who you're giving the loan to, and that has always been I think the big problem that people have been trying to solve. Like how do you rate users without sacrificing their data, and give them loans in a way to where you can go after them if they default, because you don't want things happening like what happens in DeFi, where people go, it's fine if I default on my loan because I have the asset that's worth more than the other asset's going to be worth. Go ahead and liquidate me. Like they just don't care and they walk away and buy, beachside real estate in Australia.
No, something like that. Weird.
What's the name of the protocol?
3Jane.xyz. Oh, but I don't get it. You have to give them money, or you just pull a line of credit and then It doesn't make. I
21
don't get it.
credit.
Yeah, but then like you just never repay it. You're just collecting 11%. You're just paying. Let's just say you never pay it. 5 years later, you racked up 11 or 10% a year or whatever. There's no collateral, so you just have like on your credit. Are they gonna file a fucking credit claim against you? Not a claim, but like when you do a credit card, a pull.
There is credit because people are depositing assets from all these different chains.
Yeah, but okay, let's say we'll give you a credit line for 5Gs. You have to give them anything or they just give you 5Gs. And then like on your personal credit score, you have a personal loan or something for 5Gs or 1G or whatever.
Let's see.
You know what I mean? Like
I don't think you need anything. See, 0% collateral cash advances.
you just at a high rate at 11%.
Yeah, you just have some fucking 15% rate, because you're saying, look, I have all this collateral. My on-chain trustworthiness to pay back the loan is here. And then if you're connecting, your in real life credit worthiness, you can show, hey, look, in my bank, I also have, $250,000 and I have, I don't know, 1.2 million in assets from fucking property you own or whatever through Credit Karma.
Yeah, but okay, if you never repay it, well, I guess I have to read the docs, but it would make sense if they put like if you link your Credit Karma, if it was like a personal loan on your Credit Karma, that would make sense.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean they're gonna come after here, right here. Let's see.
Not come after you, but like let's say it's 5 years later, you never repaid back the loan. All you did was collect 11% a year. That's it. That seems like a pretty good fucking deal.
Let's see.
If you didn't have to put up anything and you just could rack up 10% a year or whatever, that doesn't sound fucking terrible.
Well, I think the thing is the people that are going to be able to not put up anything and rack up 10% a year are the type of people that are able to get low interest loans in the first place, right? Like it's not the guy that has a 500 credit score with fucking $2,500 on-chain balance.
Yeah, but if I don't know, let's say they give you 5Gs and five years later, all you did was rack up 10% in interest, sure, but you never have to pay back the 5Gs if you don't want. Maybe I have to read up a little bit more. Like
they're 100% legally coming after you for that money.
Yeah, but why? I don't. It was just 5Gs. I don't owe anything besides the 5Gs and the 10%. Yeah, I'm gonna pay it next month. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's if there's no time limit. Oh, you have to pay us back in 12 months. That would make way more sense.
No, there is a time. Look, where is it at? I'm pretty sure there are. Where's the?
It's probably in the FAQ, and I'm just here talking shit. But
I'm sorry. I was looking at a different page. Yeah. Let's see. Credit underwriter.
Connecting to Credit Karma does not work. Get off VPN. No, you know what I mean? Oh, you have us 12 months to pay us back. If not, then they're gonna come after you. Okay, that makes way more sense. But if it's just for 5 years you can just rack up 10%, it doesn't
let's
sound
see right here.
terrible.
Suppliers.
Does not sound terrible.
There's a senior claim on interest repayments from the pool and has real-time liquidity for withdrawals based on the market reserves, 80% of the pool. Let's see.
I gotta fucking read up more. Scaling. Yeah, like what if all these people take all of the money and then never repay it back? And there's no time limit.
Repayments and sinks, okay. Timeline.
Repayments and sinks.
Grace period. Clock start statement date. Duration to be determined. Delinquency period. End of grace period or grade period. Late penalty APR. End of delinquency period. Late penalty APR continues recurring. Credit line frozen. Slashing modules. Trigger NPL auction. Merchant cash advance structure. Let's see. 30 days using the latest bank cash.
Like somebody's gonna fucking exploit this thing. Like, oh, they took out a $2 million loan, and that's all the TVL, or let's say, and they did it across a bunch of wallets, and there's no timestamp.
What's the maximum you can do?
It says delinquency period right here.
Connect all our banks, Credit Karma, a wallet.
It says right here, if the credit line has not been repaid before the delinquency period timestamp, the credit line enters default status, at which point 3Jane credit slashing module does the auction. So, but it doesn't say it probably says it when you go take the loan. But there is a delinquency period. And then you're fucked, right? Your on-chain credit score is absolutely screwed.
Yep.
All right.
Defaults slashing the score decreases your future credit line sizes and increases future interest rates. Pooled upside model, where a portion of late interest repayments from defaulters is distributed pro rata across all existing borrowers. Initiating a non-performing loan auction, which engages collections agencies to pursue legal recourse within the United States legal system.
They're saying 30 days right here. While the specific rules may vary, a common threshold for delinquency is often 30 days.
So if you don't repay, 3 steps, third step, you go to collections. Forced repayment through court.
Yeah, and then you're fucked because you linked your Credit Karma and you just got screwed.
Yeah.
But you have 30 days.
So, question answered.
30 days. All right, sounds good. I got to jump, boys. We got Little Quant. I don't think Little Quant's been on before, actually. I think it's his first time. I think we were supposed to have him, but we didn't have him.
Ooh.
Are you sure?
You sure?
I think so, dude. He's texting me. He said he was nervous. Why would he be nervous if he's been on before?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's been on.
Maybe he's just
Dude,
nervous
somebody
every
sent me a
time.
30-second voice message. I'm not listening to that. Sorry. Sorry. Happy for you. Sorry that happened, but I'm not fucking listening to that. I'll ask him. We'll ask him. But I don't think he's been on before. I think we did the Greeks Live one with him, but I thought we always had Professor. I think we were supposed to have him on, but we didn't.
Maybe you're right, but I could have swore he's been on a joint panel with us when we had maybe it wasn't Professor Satoshi, but someone else. It was like me, you, Loquant, and someone.
Yeah, maybe. I'll ask him.
Loquant. All right, yeah. We'll be back in 2 hours on the premium account. Loquant. Catch you later, boys.
Later.